Welcome back, fam. Everyone wants to have a good relationship with their in-laws, yet early encounters with in-laws are often greeted with trepidation and concern. Unlike most of the other relationships which we establish in life, many of us approach our in-laws with the belief that we are unlikely to find any common ground and that there will be a distinct possibility of conflict in our relationship. Today on rLounge, we learn that sometimes we have to run for the hills, and sometimes we just need to listen to what they have to say. Up first, if your mother-in-law told you to jump, would you? Mother-in-law demands my daughter's bedroom. Weird situation. My husband and I live in a small 3-bedroom townhome. Before he met me, he told his mother that she could have one of the bedrooms. Well, then he met me, and I have 3 kids. So, we have the master, the boys have a bunk bed, and my daughter has the other room. For a while, I tried to be polite and placate her. There are lots of nights that my kids are at their bio dads, and other nights she wants to visit. I would have my daughter sleep on an air mattress. However, the bedroom really needs a smaller bed so that my daughter can have room for her toys. Right now, her room has a giant queen-size bed in it that doesn't leave room for much else. To make things more complicated, I am in nursing school, so 1 to 2 times a week, I drive 3 hours to Mother-in-Law City to attend school. She has a 4-bedroom home. I was staying in a guest room, so I reasoned I should sacrifice my daughter's room for her since she is helping me out with lodging as well. Then one day, all 5 of us needed a place to stay in her home. She decided one of her guest rooms was off limits because her adult daughter, who wasn't there, doesn't want anyone staying in her room. She told my daughter she could sleep on the floor. I told her that my daughter doesn't want anyone staying in her room either, but that I have been asking her to show hospitality and that you can't ask a 6-year-old to have better manners than her 43-year-old daughter. She refused to listen to me. The next day, she told me I wasn't welcome to ever come over to her home again unless her son was there with me and took away my place to stay while in school. I told her if I wasn't welcome in her home, she wasn't welcome in mine. My husband agreed to support me. About 1 month later, she showed up unannounced at my doorstep with her overnight bags in tow. She announced she was staying for 3 days. I told her that I already told her that if I wasn't welcome in her home, she wasn't welcome in mine. She then told me it isn't your home, dear. My son's name is on the title, not yours. I said, I can't believe you are disrespecting me like this. You need to leave. She said, I need to hear it from my son. So he told her to leave. It has been 2 weeks, and I'm beyond upset still. Am I in the wrong here? OP, you're absolutely not in the wrong. You don't owe her anything, and for her to have the space, but to still demand that your daughter sleep on the floor is a bit ridiculous and ignorant. She's trying to claim some sort of power and authority over you and the kids. The more you stand your ground, the less she'll push and the more she'll respect you and your boundaries. She was being juvenile by telling you that you were no longer welcome. It was like she was doing you some sort of favor by being kind to you, rather than being kind for the sake of being kind. The best choice right now might be to limit your exposure to the negativity. Will your mother-in-law be pissed that you decide to skip a few family functions or refuse to have her visit? Probably, but she'd feel the same way if you did show up. You can't please her, so at least please yourself, OP. Most of us have a picture in our minds of what our mother-in-laws will do for us and our children, but that just isn't always real life. At the end of the day, we cannot control other people. How would you have handled the situation? Let us know in the comments. But we're going to check out some of the community comments. First from Sierra Mountains 40. Not wrong. Good for you for standing your ground. It's the only thing that gets through to them. She fully intended to show you who was boss. Never let that happen. Snowy Mountains Bear chimes in next. Get rid of the queen bed so your daughter is more comfortable. Your mother-in-law may be less inclined to stay if she doesn't have a large bed. Primary Criticism 929 chimes in too. The only place you went wrong is when you said you have to give up your daughter's room because your mother-in-law offers you a place to stay when you're in school. You should have been the one giving up your room, not your 6-year-old. Your husband supports you, so no, you're not in the wrong here. Up next, a mother-in-law in distress. Horrible mother-in-law's boyfriend. Hi, hoping to hear some advice on how to navigate this for the rest of my life. I'm pretty young and newly engaged. My fiance is an angel. He's loving, attentive, trustworthy, just an amazing person. Last December, we went up to meet his family. We had been dating for over a year and felt it was time. I dragged my mom along so she could meet his folks as well. We were staying at his mom's boyfriend's house. We get there, and the first night, plan to stay in the mom's boyfriend's house. The next morning, our plans are to wake up early to get a good start on heading 3 hours away to this adorable Bavarian town that was all decorated for Christmas. Mom's boyfriend decides to delay us by 4 hours by sleeping in and lounging around while we are ready to go. Annoying. His mom kept trying to rush him, and at one point said, "Okay, we are leaving in 30 minutes with or without you because it got ridiculous." So then we head that way to the town. Our first stop is the world's largest Christmas shop. We were super excited to go here. My fiance is excited to show me the store. It's a huge store, so we want to take our time and look through each section. Her boyfriend decides to stay in the car the entire time, which makes us feel rushed. So then we get to the actual town, check into our hotel, check in, decided to walk around, and at this point get dinner because it's late. Hit a winery, then head back to the hotel. So boyfriend's mom starts to drive home, and her boyfriend starts screaming in her face, getting super scary aggressive. When we all know she's going the right way, it makes for an awkward car ride. Has me thinking, if he treats her this way in front of guests he just met a day ago, how does he treat her in private? He eventually realizes he's wrong. This continued until we got back to the hotel parking lot. Doesn't apologize or anything. Yikes. We get back to the hotel, go our separate ways for the night. All are just like, what the hell? Next morning, we go for breakfast at the hotel. He decided to sleep in the car and skip breakfast. Okay, bizarre. Then we want to walk around the town some more. He decides to stay in the car for that as well. We tell fiance's mom, "Why don't we stay another night so we can see the rest of the cute town?" Her response, "No, I think," insert mom's boyfriend name, "wants to sleep in his own bed tonight. It's been 24 hours. We get back to their city. His mom decides to drive all of us to a nearby town that had some Christmas decor and bars. After one stop, she says, "Okay, let's go back so we can include," insert her boyfriend's name. So basically, he dictated our entire vacation. Thank God our trip wasn't longer. I was ready to get home. We got engaged a few weeks ago. His mom posts a lovely post saying her and her boyfriend are so excited to welcome me to the family. He untags himself from the post and doesn't even like or comment. I asked my fiance if he congratulated him. Nope. So anyways, I'm looking for words of wisdom. This isn't just a short-term fling. They have been together for 8 years and both would be their third marriage, so they aren't getting married again. I'm so stressed and upset. We're going up for a family reunion in July, and I told my fiance the only way I will ever visit up there again is if we have our own place to stay and own transportation. He agreed. His mom was shocked when she heard we weren't staying with them. My fiance thinks he's just bitter because his 3 kids have nothing to do with him, won't speak to him, didn't even invite him to their weddings. The mom's boyfriend blames it on his ex-wife. Wow, OP. I wouldn't take any of this personally. I don't think your mother-in-law's boyfriend's actions have anything to do with you at all. It sounds like your mother-in-law and her boyfriend have a lot to work out between the two of them. I would definitely give them space. And maybe even consider hanging out with your mother-in-law one-on-one. Talk to her. See how she's doing. When trouble strikes like this and something feels off, don't hesitate to show your concern and willingness to help or lend an ear, OP. That is the true essence of being a family. When you're willing to make the effort to see them through their difficulties, you will have crossed over from being an outsider to becoming a core and important family member. You might end up with a better understanding of why they behave the way they do and gain a new perspective. What are your thoughts on the circumstances? Let us know in the comments below. The community has some thoughts. Strange Dog TV starts us off. You hit the nail on the head. Interact where necessary, i.e. family reunions and the like. Do not stay with them and ensure you have your own transportation. It's a real shame that your weekend away with your mom and mother-in-law and fiance was hijacked by this not pleasant fellow. Your mother-in-law is a grown woman though. She can decide what type of behavior she is willing to deal with in her relationship. Clearly, fiance and yourself can offer your support to her. But if she is happy to put up with his ridiculous shenanigans, then that's her decision to make. I think it's telling when someone's children disengage themselves from a parent, to be honest. Your mother-in-law can make all the excuses she likes, i.e. the ex-wife, but she will only be getting his side of the story. The next thought from Hades Rat Soup. Wow, so your mother-in-law has been dating an overgrown toddler for 8 years. My dad did this kind of crap when we were kids. He didn't want to be at the place or do the thing, so he acted like a jerk and ruined everybody's time. It seems to me that you and your fiance, congratulations by the way, are handling this in the only way you really can. Mother-in-law is an adult, and this is the guy she wants to be with for whatever reason. The important thing is that you and your fiance are on the same page with how to handle the situation, and also maybe let mother-in-law know that this isn't against her, it's her boyfriend's behavior that you guys take issue with. That might still sting a little, but you have to set your boundaries. Thank you for joining us today on rLounge. Before you go, be sure to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. We would hate for you to miss out on our next video. If you have feedback on today's content, please let us know in the comments below. We can't wait to hear from you.